Do you feel down or depressed without any apparent reasons? If you do and you want to do something about it, then you are in the right place. In this video, I will be sharing the main reason why we feel down or depressed. I will also share my process on how I get myself out of feeling blue or depressed that works every time. Stay until the end where I'll share with you how you can have a calm, quiet mind and experience mental and emotional peace in your life. What I'm about to share with you has worked for me personally. I have used this process over and over again, and it has helped me countless times to get myself out of feeling blue or depressed. My name is Haiti Rajini. I am an emotional clearing expert and inner peace accelerator and a healer. I used to be depressed. I was depressed for a very long time, enough to say that being depressed was my core programming. About a decade ago, I started to heal myself through energy healing and I became less depressed. Now I am at a stage where I'm aware of my mental and emotional states. I'm being completely transparent with you. I do feel depressed once in a while. The big difference between now and years ago is I now know what makes me depressed and I know how to get myself out of it. This is what this video is about. I will be sharing my step-by-step process that you can use to get yourself out of feeling depressed. Let's get to it. Here is the 5-step process. Ask yourself the following questions. Step 1, what is the thought or the belief that is running around in your head? Step 2, where did it come from? Step 3, is it yours? Step 4, are you willing to let it go? Step 5, let it go. Let's dive deeper with each step. Step 1, ask yourself what is the thought or the belief that is running around in your head. In my experience, whenever I feel down or depressed, it always comes down to the thought or the belief that I have at that time. Often, it's never a positive thought or belief that causes people to feel blue or depressed. It's always a negative thought or belief that people have that makes them feel depressed. This is a sad truth for many of us. Once you are aware of the thought or the belief that is causing you to feel depressed, proceed to step 2. Step 2, ask yourself, where did the thought or the belief come from? Check in with yourself. Recall back to when did you first hear the thought or the belief. It could be you first heard it from your parents, aunts, uncle, grandparents, teachers, etc. Or it could be from your childhood, teen years, or early adulthood. Or you may have felt it in the womb. This is not impossible. Once you're aware of where did it come from, then move on to the next step. Step 3, ask yourself, is the thought or the belief yours? I have done a lot of inner work. I discovered that a lot of my thoughts and beliefs aren't mine to begin with. I have made plenty of association pre-birth, and as I grew up, I took up other people's beliefs, thoughts, as well as their energies. I modeled how to be, act, live, behave, etc. from these people. I was living as me, but in my head, I had other people's thoughts, beliefs, and I unfortunately have used them to my own detriment as I went through life. If you are clear that the thought or the belief isn't yours, that's great. You can move on to the next step. If, however, you think that it's yours, then you need to ask yourself the following questions. Why did you create the thought or the belief? Or a different question to ask is, what purpose does it serve? Once you have your answers, the next question is it still valid? If you are clear that the thought or the belief is no longer valid, then move on to the next step. If your answer is yes, it's still valid, then you really need to dive deep within yourself to see what this thought or belief has caused you and your life. You need to know that thoughts, especially negative thoughts and beliefs that we have created from decades ago, are rarely valid anymore. Thoughts and beliefs that I had created when I was a 6-year-old wouldn't benefit me now. A year from now, I will be 40 years old. A lot has changed since then. The way a 6-year-old deals with issues wouldn't benefit a 40-year-old. Unfortunately, in some ways, many of us are still stuck in the past. Regardless of how old we are right now, whenever we get triggered, it's actually the wounded child within us that get upset or angry because of unresolved issues in the past. Step 4, ask yourself, are you willing to let the thought or belief go? If you're willing to let it go, then proceed to the final step. If your answer is no, then ask yourself, why are you still holding on, knowing that the thought or the belief is making you feel depressed or miserable or fill in the blank. It's almost always the holding on that gets us stuck, being unhappy, resigned, or depressed, and so on. The final step, which is step 5, is to let go of the thought or the belief along with the emotional baggage that you experience with misery, sadness, dissatisfaction, depression, etc. When you let go, do this without any interruptions from your mind. Allow yourself to release the thought or belief and the emotional baggage without your mind gets in the way. If you're able to do this successfully, you will feel calm and experience a sense of inner peace afterward. That is the 5-step process that I use to get myself out of feeling down or depressed. Let's recall the steps. Step 1, what is the thought or the belief that is running around in your head? Step 2, where did it come from? Step 3, is it yours? Step 4, are you willing to let it go? And the final step, step 5, let it go. Do this process whenever you start to feel negative. This process not only works for helping me to get myself out of feeling depressed, it also works every time I feel negative or disempowered. Every time I do this process, I feel empowered afterward. You can always refer to this video to help you out when you are doing this process. I highly recommend for you to do this process in writing. That way you, or rather your brain, can clearly see what you have written and it can help to increase your awareness as well. If you do this process several times and you feel stuck still, then I invite you to work with me privately. More information can be found on my website, powercreatefreedom.com. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to have a calm, quiet mind or experience mental and emotional peace, or you feel that you need help with clearing negative thoughts, check out my healing called Activate Peace Within. Activate Peace Within is an energy clearing session for the mind. It is designed to clear negative thoughts, disintegrate non-beneficial thought patterns, and silence this empowering self-talk. For more information, go ahead and click the link below in the description. I look forward to assist you in your journey. If you find this video beneficial, like this video and share it with the people whom you love. Do subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to see you in my next video.